Good morning and welcome to BladenOnline. My name is Erin Smith and I'm the editor here, and I have with me this morning Mr. Todd Johnson, who's running for U.S. Congress in the 9th Congressional District.
That's correct.
Thank you for joining us, Todd.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, Todd, tell me a little bit about your background.
From actually born and raised in Wadesboro in Anson County, and have lived in Union County in Unionville for the last 15 years. The son of a farmer. My dad was a turkey farmer and also a row cropper for years, so I grew up on a tractor in the fields, and just love rural America and love North Carolina. It's a great place to live and a great place to call home.
Well, good. Well, Todd, tell me a little bit. I know you're campaigning in the 9th Congressional District. Tell me some things that have motivated you to seek the elected office.
Well, obviously running for Congress is a large undertaking for any person to do. But for me, I was like many of your viewers and many of your followers would say, that I like to say we're part of the 88%. And that term comes from the 12% approval rating that Congress has today. And being one of the 88%, I'm tired of what's going on in Washington. I'm fed up with it. It seems like nothing gets done, and more importantly, the folks that we send to Washington are not representing our values and not standing up there. It seems like they're almost more concerned to get in line and take marching orders, and that's just not how I operate. So I decided I could sit on the sideline and just be mad, or I could actually put my name out there and actually run for office and make a difference.
Right. Well, tell me a little bit. I know some concerns that some folks around here have include things such as education and insurance are kind of hot topics around here. So tell me a little bit what your thoughts are.
Well, let's start with education. Education is important. It's very very important to our economy, and not only that, to the future of the kids that are coming through. I actually serve on the State Board of Community Colleges. So not only is primary education, but also post-primary education is important to me also. What I do not support is unbridled spending in any asset of government. We have to have spending controls put in place. So I believe in a strong education, but an education that's controlled at the state level. I firmly believe that the Federal Department of Education should be abolished. There's no reason to have it. You think about Common Core and the struggles that has placed on parents to even have the ability to help their kids with homework. I know having a son that's 10 and a son that's 8, every night it's always a challenge to try to make sure homework's done, check through homework, and I graduated from Chapel Hill in 2000, and I even still have trouble helping my 10 and 8-year-old with their math homework due to Common Core. And basically it's the federal government meddling in a state business. And so what I'd like to see is just have the Federal Department of Education completely abolished, return that power back to the state where it belongs. Insurance, Obamacare has just wreaked havoc on businesses and individuals. The federal government has no role in mandating that anyone purchase anything. Their number one goal should be the safety and security of its citizens. That's it. So when you look at the effect of Obamacare that it's placed on private families, and not only private families, but even private small businesses. I was speaking with a local business owner a couple weeks ago, and it's a family business. They do sheet metal work. And what happened was, before Obamacare, they were averaging about $600,000 a year in cost for insurance. After Obamacare went in the very next year, the coverage was cut in half, and their bill went to $1.1 million. So it all but doubled. That's directly affecting not only the welfare of the employees there, but it also makes it where they can't even employ other people. So Obamacare has to be defunded. I will tell you here, sitting here with you in Bladen County, I cannot and will not support any budget that will not defund Obamacare. It is something that has to go, and it has to go now. Unfortunately, our Congress, going back to that 12%, our Congress voted in January to fund Obamacare. They had an opportunity to defund it, and they didn't. So we have a Congress that didn't defund Obamacare. It didn't defund Planned Parenthood, which I like to refer to as baby trading parts. And that's what it is, and it's sad to speak about it so candidly, but that's what they're doing. And to me, it's one of the most atrocious acts that you could even imagine, that people are actually profiting from the death and the killing of innocent lives. And so this Congress has had an opportunity to change that. They didn't do that, and the frustration levels just continue to rise throughout the citizens. And I'll tell you, they're just not listening. They're not listening to us.
Well, in Bladen County, agriculture is also another big industry for our folks here in Bladen County. So tell me a little bit on agriculture. What are some things that you would like to see done at the federal level to help our farmers?
Agriculture is not only important to you in Bladen County, it's important to me because being from, I'm actually from I'm from Anson County, but I live in Union County. Union County is the #1 wheat producer in the state of North Carolina. So agriculture is still a key role in Union County. A lot of times we get assumed that it's because we're closer to Charlotte that agriculture is not important, but it's still very important to us. So our economy in Union County is very big on agriculture. I am the son of a farmer. My dad was a turkey farmer. He was a breeder and also a row cropper. So at the age of 9, I was literally on a tractor helping Dad in the fields, and that's our background. So I went to college on I was fortunate enough to go to college, but I went on a farmer's income. So farming and agriculture not only fed and sheltered me, it actually sent me to college. And so the agriculture industry is not only important to me personally, it's important to everyone throughout this district. My dad has always told me, growing up, I should thank a farmer 3 times a day. Mm-hmm. And more importantly than that, I know that that produce and food doesn't come from the grocery store. It comes from a farmer. There's a farmer somewhere that actually had to invest their time and efforts and sweat equity to bring that product to market. So agriculture is important. And the agriculture industry, as well as our private property rights, are under attack. We have an EPA, an ever overreaching government, and through the EPA they've got what's called now the waters of the U.S. And what that has effectively done is given the federal government the right to basically oversee mud puddles in your backyard. So any form of water body that's anywhere on your property, they feel like they can govern. And to me, that is atrocious. So if you take, and why that's important to the agriculture community, if there's a drainage ditch or something that needs to be rerouted, they're going to have to actually get a permit from the federal government that gives them the right on their property to change or to make any changes to any form of water on their property. That is a direct violation of the property rights that we have as Americans, which are some of the these are basic rights that we enjoy as Americans. So I have no problem with looking at abolishing the EPA. Let's get rid of it completely.
Okay. Well, Todd, what's the one takeaway you want our viewers to have as far as your candidacy?
Well, I appreciate that question, Erin. If I can say one thing to your viewers, it would be that this election that's coming up on June the 7th is a pivotal election. Because now more than ever, every election cycle is the most important election cycle that you've been a part of, because the stakes get higher and higher. But with this election cycle, because it's a special election on June the 7th, there's going to be a very low voter turnout. And so your vote, more than ever, carries more weight than probably in a congressional primary you'll ever see again. So I go back to the 88%. With Congress having a 12% approval rating, I'm one of the 88% that's fed up, that's tired of what's going on in Washington, that's decided, you know what, it's time to change. And the only way that can change is to send a person to Washington that not only says what they're going to do, but does it and stands by it. So if your viewers, if there's a viewer that says, you know, I'm one of the 12% and I think what's going on in Washington is great, then I'm happy to tell you there's 2 candidates in this race that are very well polished, well established candidates that you can choose from. But if they are one of the 88% like myself that's just fed up and is just completely tired of the direction that we're going as a nation, there's only one choice, and I'm that choice. So I would strongly encourage everyone to get out on June the 7th and vote. Bring your friends, bring your family. I'd be honored to have your support, and I also covet your prayers, because it's a tough undertaking for us, but we're working hard, and we'll make you proud in Washington. So we appreciate a vote on June 7th. Our website is votetoddjohnson.com. Please go to the website. We're on Facebook, Todd Johnson for U.S. Congress. Appreciate any communications. If you reach out to us, we'll be more than happy to communicate with you and talk with you, and I appreciate the opportunity here.
Well, we thank you so much, Todd, for joining us.